Hey everyone, Barbara Higgins here from TSRM Group. I am delighted to be here with Triona Guidry, who's project manager for FastStartGO, TSRM's Sales Enablement and Training Program, along with David McClean, who is our business development director and an instructor for FastStartGO. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here this morning talking about some of the issues of training and onboarding sales reps in the IT industry specifically. And let's get started. So, Dave, you've been in the business, I think, as long as I have, maybe longer. I'm not sure, but going back to 10, 15 years ago, what were some of the challenges that you saw when it came to onboarding, training, recruiting sales reps in the industry?
Well, Barbara, I've been in the business for about 25 years, and training has always been a challenge for everyone. And one of the big differences between now and 15 years ago is that the way people are being taught. Nowadays, you can do it online. You can do it when you want to, when you have time to train. So you can work during the day and then train at night. But 15 years ago, you had to conjugate in a classroom or even maybe go to a hotel with at a certain location with your entire team, spend 3 days there while you're learning. And that's really sort of gone away where online training has really given everybody a much more dynamic way of learning than you did 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's for sure. Gosh, you would be out of the office for, as you said, a full day or several days, and then the challenge of being a manager, a sales manager at that time, and potentially investing that kind of time and energy in a sales rep, and then having them leave 6 months later. So, it was a slippery slope, and still challenges today for sure. So, you know it brings us to the point, Triona, about the qualities of a good sales rep. Like, what do we look for? How do we pick the type of individual who's going to succeed as an IT sales rep in today's environment?
Well, to David's point, we really look for flexibility and persistence because you have to have those qualities in order to survive in today's market. And also an excitement about technology, wanting to really learn more about technology. We always say we're all going to wake up tomorrow, there'll be some new ABC solution that we all have to figure out what it is and what it does. So it's not only important to be on top of today's technology, but also be ready for tomorrow's technology too.
Yeah, that's for sure. My goodness, with the pace of change right now, it's just amazing. So Fast Start Go, let's turn our attention to that. This is a program that we started several years ago. It's evolved tremendously over the years. Let's talk about some of the things that make it different and unique in the marketplace. So Dave, let's start with you.
Now, FastStartGO, as I just mentioned, one of the unique aspects of it is online learning, which also means it gives you a very flexible schedule. So if you want to actually learn at night, or maybe you learn better in the morning, you can take your classes and do your work early in the morning, and it really frees you up during the day, so you can still contribute to your sales job and make your number at the end of the month. We also have an AI guided role play, which is, I think, fabulous. It really allows our students to role play, get a better understanding of having a conversation with a prospect, and it takes a little bit of pressure off of them because role playing's tough. When you're sitting on a conference call with five other people and your boss, and you have to role play, sometimes people get nervous and they don't actually put their best foot forward. So when you're doing the AI role play, it really gets you ready for that time that you have to actually role play in person. And those are just some of the features I think really make FastStartGo stand out.
Interesting. So, Triona, give me a sense of the sort of the scope and the breadth of subjects that we cover in a typical curriculum. Like, we talk about role playing, we talk about, changing technologies, but it's a lot more than that, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Barb. And what we found is that the modular approach that we take to our learning is really important because that allows us to update our modules very quickly so that we're always on top of the latest trends and latest sales markets and the latest vertical markets. And we also work very closely with our learners too, especially for those who are participating in our live instruction. We really work very closely with them with the coaching so that they can understand what it's like to be in a real world sales situation. So we really teach the A to Z of sales, but then we also dive into technology. We like to say that we can teach sales and we can teach technology, but we can't teach that drive to succeed in sales. So that's really what we look for. And then when we're teaching our IT courses, again, we take a top-down approach. So we teach everything from what is a network, what is the cloud, all the way down to the very, very details of how to qualify sales prospects for those particular technologies.
Yeah, awesome. That was a great overview. Really good. Um, so Dave, this is an investment on the part of a company as well as, a sales rep, an individual. Um, let's talk about ROI because, in today's environment, that's what it's all about. What will the company who may be underwriting this training for an entry level sales rep, what can they expect when it comes to return on investment?
When FastStartGO was developed, it was developed with ROI in mind. And let me give you an example. Just recently, we took 3 of our learners and we did an ROI to see how it would turn out. And what we noticed is that they actually generated at the end of the completion of the course about $1.3 million in revenue, which is a 10-to-1 ROI. And this is one of the biggest holdups we see when it comes to training. A lot of the budget sometimes is taken up by training, and a lot of managers don't want to invest that money unless they know they're going to get their return. And I think this is something that we're proving with our courses that there is a return, it comes rather quickly, and it really does make sense to invest in training.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting because we're talking about, generating revenue, which is amazing, but then you have all the soft costs that go into, the equation, not having the kind of turnover that you have when sales reps are thrown into an environment and it's kind of a sink or swim kind of thing and they and they're not successful and they leave and then you have to hire again and there's so many soft costs and missed opportunities when it comes to having an ill prepared young sales rep. So it's something worth noting, for people who are considering, the benefit and cost analysis of this type of a program. So Triona, let's talk about recruiting for a second because we don't just train, right? Sometimes we're being asked to actually recruit people. How do we go about that process?
That's a great question, Barb. And I mentioned a little bit about this earlier, where we're looking for those who, if they have technology experience or sales experience, that's so much the better. But really, what we look for are those things that you can't teach, which is that dynamic personality, conversational, really wanting to get out there and knowing that, they're going to have to hit the street running and they are just really willing to succeed. So the way we start with the client is we have many, many conversations with the client at the very beginning because we want to understand the client's workflow and we also want to understand their corporate culture. So we start with that as well as looking at the desired region and sales objectives that they're looking to achieve. Are these reps going to be selling services or is it going to be more software or hardware? And so we take that into account through our recruiting process. As well as any vertical markets they might be targeting. For example, if they're primarily going to be working in education, and we come across folks who have some experience with that. We've actually had a few former teachers come through the program successfully.
Sure, sure.
So, that we're always looking for those transferable skills and those things that, might pair up. So we're pretty agnostic as far as things like major and degree is concerned. Again, we're really just looking for that personality. And then once we start looking into that, then we start looking more into, again, those who have the excitement. They love technology. They really want to learn about it, and they really want to help other people, and help them find the right solutions and products for them. So that's really kind of what we look for.
Yeah, awesome. And we've seen a trend. I think we work with career centers across the country, about 100 universities, right? And quite often we're also in contact with the athletic departments, because we find that that competitive drive that you have when you're a student athlete, translates really well into the business environment. So.
It
Um,
absolutely does, Barb. And what's interesting about that is that we find this is what we've discovered, having athletes or really anybody who's participated in any kind of ensemble environment, because they understand how to meet both team goals and personal goals.
yeah,
And that's really
excellent.
what
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah, excellent point. That's really great. So, guys, let's wrap it up. And I just want to see if you have any closing thoughts about the program. Just we're building it every day. It's evolving. It's been very exciting. We are recruiting and training more reps. Each fiscal half, and really anxious to get the word out there for companies that are looking to recruit and train successful sales reps. So, closing thought, Dave?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that when it comes to ROI, what we've seen so far historically is about a 10-to-1 return on your investment, which is, great. I also want to touch on one of the things that you mentioned about turnover. And what we've seen from polling with some of our clients and even people, other non-clients, is that 45% of companies think there's too much turnover in the sales vertical. And that's something we can really help reduce. And that's something, I think is great about our program. And it really, gives me, the ability to want to come to work every day, because I know we're saving people money and
Yeah,
actually helping their bottom line.
yeah, for sure. Triona, closing thoughts?
Well, I'm just really excited about the future of Fast Start Go. As I said, the technology industry is always in motion. That's one of the most exciting things about it. And our content is always in motion too. So we have some new revisions that are coming up. But the wonderful thing about the way that we deliver our content is the fact that we can make it available to our students very, very quickly. So we're always looking forward to teaching them the next new thing that's coming up.
Awesome. Okay. So more information can be found on our website, tsrmgroup.com/fast dash start, I believe. But be sure to check it out. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day, Barb.